Why do you feel like you're the main character in a movie all the time? What if I told you that your brain is hardwired to lie to you every single day, just to make you feel better? And that the reason you can't resist that extra slice of pizza has less to do with willpower and more to do with the psychological glitch that affects almost everyone? We think we're in control of our choices, our memories, our entire lives. But the truth is, our behavior is driven by bizarre, hidden psychological forces we rarely even notice. In this video, we're diving deep into the weirdest, most interesting psychological facts about human behavior that will make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. Stick around, because by the end of this, you won't see yourself or anyone else the same way again. All right, let's just jump right in. You're a rational person, right? You make logical decisions. You weigh the pros and cons. At least that's the story we tell ourselves. But what if that story is the biggest lie of all? Picture this. You're at a store and you see 2 jars of jam. One has 6 flavors, the other has 24. Which one are you more likely to buy from? Logic says more choice is better, right? Wrong. Psychologists Sheena Iyengar and Mark Lepper proved that when faced with 24 choices, only 3% of people bought jam. But with just 6 choices, a whopping 30% made a purchase. That's the paradox of choice. Your brain literally gets overwhelmed and shuts down. It's not you being indecisive, it's a built-in defense mechanism. Crazy, right? We think we want freedom and endless options, but our minds secretly crave simplicity. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Our brains are constantly playing these little tricks on us. It's like there's an invisible puppeteer pulling the strings of our behavior, and we're not even aware of it. For instance, have you ever met someone for the first time and just got a vibe? Good or bad? That's the halo effect. If your first impression is positive, maybe they have a nice smile or a firm handshake, your brain automatically assumes they are also intelligent, kind, and trustworthy, even with zero evidence. It's a mental shortcut. And it works the other way, too. A single negative trait can create a horn effect, coloring your entire perception of them. Think about how that affects job interviews, dating, or even jury decisions. We're not as objective as we believe. We're walking, talking bias machines. So, if our decisions about jam and people are so easily manipulated, what else is our brain messing with? Our memories? Our sense of self? This isn't just trivia. Understanding these quirks is like getting a user manual for your own mind. It helps you see why you procrastinate, why you fall for certain marketing tricks, and even why you argue the way you do with your family. It's a superpower, honestly. And that's what we're all about. Here, we dive into the science behind why we are the way we are, from psychology to history to economics, and break it down in a way that's, actually interesting. We believe that understanding the world starts with understanding ourselves. So if you're into that and you want to keep getting your mind blown every week, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. It tells us we're on the right track and helps us create more content just like this. It's a tiny click for you, but it means the world to us. Okay, so we've established our brains are lazy and take shortcuts. But it gets weirder. What if I told you that your brain will literally invent memories just to make a story more interesting? The line between fact and fiction in your own head is way blurrier than you think, and we're about to cross it. So, your memory, it feels like a perfect recording of your life, right? Like a little hard drive in your skull. Well, spoiler alert, it's more like a Wikipedia page that you and other people can edit without you even noticing. This brings us to our next mind-bending fact, the misinformation effect. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus did these groundbreaking studies where she showed people footage of a car crash. To one group, she asked how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other. To another group, she asked the same question but used the word hit. The results? The smashed group estimated the speed as much higher. That makes sense, the word is more intense. But here's the truly insane part. A week later, she asked them if they saw any broken glass in the video. There was no broken glass. Yet the people who heard the word smashed were more than twice as likely to say they remembered seeing it. Their brains literally created a false memory based on a single word. Think about that. How many of your cherished childhood memories have been slightly altered by a story your aunt told at Thanksgiving? How reliable is an eyewitness testimony in court? It's a huge deal. Our memories are not recordings. They are reconstructions, and they are super fragile. But okay, that's memory. What about our actions in the here and now? Let's talk about the bystander effect. This one's a little dark, but it's crucial to understand. In 1964, a woman named Kitty Genovese was tragically murdered in New York City. The initial reports claimed that 38 people saw or heard the attack, but did absolutely nothing. While the details of that specific case have been debated, it sparked a wave of research that proved something terrifying. The more people who witness an emergency, the less likely it is that any one of them will help. Why? It's called diffusion of responsibility. Everyone assumes someone else will call the police or step in. Oh, there are so many people here. Surely someone will do something. Everyone thinks the same thing, and nobody does anything. It's a psychological glitch in our social programming. We're less likely to be helped on a busy street than on a quiet one. How backward is that? So, our brains create false memories and make us less helpful in a crowd. What else? Well, they also make us think we're way better at things than we actually are. This is one of my favorites, the dunning-kruger effect. It's a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their ability. Essentially, they are too incompetent to even recognize their own incompetence. You've met these people. The guy at the office who thinks he's a genius but can barely use Excel. The person at karaoke who belts out his song, completely tone deaf, with total confidence. The irony is that experts, the people who actually are brilliant, are more likely to underestimate their own competence. They know so much that they're acutely aware of how much they don't know. So the next time you feel like you have no idea what you're doing, take heart. It might just be a sign that you're actually getting smarter. The real danger is the person who's 100% certain they have all the answers. From choice overload to false memories to the bystander effect, these aren't just isolated quirks, they're patterns. They reveal a fundamental truth. Our brains evolved for survival in a very different world, a world of small tribes and immediate dangers, not a world of social media, 24-hour news cycles, and endless choices. Our ancient wiring is constantly short-circuiting in the modern world. But here's the biggest, most important glitch of them all. It controls your motivation, your happiness, and even your perception of reality. It's the reason you feel so good when you get a like on Instagram and so bad when you don't. And it all comes down to one powerful chemical. Have you ever experienced the dunning-kruger effect in real life? Tell me your funniest story in the comments below. And hey, if you're enjoying this journey into your own mind, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. You won't regret it.
So what is this master chemical? It's dopamine. You've probably heard of it. People call it the pleasure molecule, but that's not quite right. Dopamine isn't about pleasure itself. It's about the anticipation of pleasure. It's the I want chemical. It's what motivates you to seek out rewards, whether that's food, money, success, or just a notification on your phone. Neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky showed that dopamine levels in a monkey's brain don't spike when it gets a treat. They spike before it gets the treat, in the moment of anticipation, after a signal, like a light, tells the monkey a reward is coming. It's the seeking that the brain rewards, not the finding. This is the exact mechanism that makes slot machines, social media, and video games so addictive. It's the variable reward schedule. You pull the lever, you refresh your feed, maybe you'll get a reward, maybe you won't. That maybe is what sends your dopamine system into overdrive. It's an anticipation machine. Your brain isn't addicted to winning, it's addicted to the chance of winning. This system was designed to keep our ancestors hunting and gathering, to keep them motivated to explore and seek out new resources. But now that same system is being hijacked. Every ding from your phone, every like, every new email is a tiny dopamine hit, a microbe reward that keeps you coming back for more. It's why you can lose hours scrolling through TikTok. It's not a character flaw, it's a feature of your brain's design, being exploited. But here's the lesson. Here's the climax. You can't get rid of these psychological glitches. You can't rewire the fundamentals of your brain. The dunning-kruger effect, the bystander effect, the dopamine loop, they are all part of the human operating system. But you can become aware of them. By understanding these hidden forces, you move from being the puppet to, well, maybe not the puppeteer, but at least the puppet who can see the strings. You can recognize when the paradox of choice is paralyzing you and consciously limit your options. You can question your first impressions and give people a second chance. You can be the one who breaks the bystander effect and makes the call for help. You can design your environment to work with your dopamine system instead of against it, turning off notifications, setting specific times for checking email, and finding rewards in long-term goals, not just instant gratification. This is the ultimate psychological fact. Self-awareness is a superpower. We are all deeply, beautifully, and hilariously flawed. Our brains are lazy, biased, and easily tricked, but they are also incredibly powerful. The most irrational, frustrating, and confusing thing in the universe might just be the human mind. But by understanding its quirks, by learning the rules of the game, you can start to play it a little better. You can be a little kinder, a little wiser, and a little more in control of your own life. And that's not just an interesting fact, it's the key to everything. What was the most surprising fact you learned today? Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out and exploring the weird world of the human brain with me. If this video gave you an aha moment, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the things that make us who we are. Until next time, stay curious.